Hi, how you doing? Okay, so before I go any further with this playlist, for a lot of people, it's a distraction that I'm transgender. So this next section goes over that subject of me being transgender, so that I can get out of the way. This YouTube channel isn't really so much about that. I do have a lot of stuff on it. There's a whole playlist on it. Um, but it's not really what I want. It's just that's what that the only videos anybody ever comments about is about transgender, my transgender ones and stuff like that. So it's just these days it's just a hot topic. But everybody wants to either hates transgender people or accepts transgender people. The adversary of transgender people is outrageous these days. And we're just a small minority. We're like, what is it, like 2% of the population or something? It's a shame that so much energy is wasted on such a no-brainer. And it's a no-brainer for most of the youth. But maybe this can be a little interesting. Listening to me talk about it because I'm so old. I'm, middle-aged trans woman. So because nowadays the thing is the biggest concern is transgender children. And most of what you hear is just it's also just a no-brainer. Because like they say, put them on these puberty blockers. Puberty blockers they're just drugs that cisgender people use. Already. They're not new drugs, and it's reversible. And the thing is that if you can, the puberty blockers, like after puberty's done, you just call it hormone therapy, HRT. You know, but before a kid's gone through puberty, you call it puberty blockers because that's what you're trying to do. So like you can't the surgeries and all that. Like if you want to learn the world's dumbest thoughts on the subject, listen to what Trump says. He's like, "Oh, mutilate children. They don't give children surgeries. That's like you have to be an adult to get the surgeries. That's why they do the puberty blockers, and that's the most you can do is puberty blockers. And a loving parent, would have enough empathy for their kid to see like so like when I want you to love and appreciate me too. I'm beautiful in my own way, but you can definitely tell I was born a boy. So like knowing someone's transgender at a younger age and putting them on puberty blockers, you can't even tell they grow up you can't even tell that they're transgender. That would be huge. Like the things I go through are incredible. Like I get picked on. Look at my comments and stuff. Like I get picked on hardcore. The things I go through are incredible sometimes. That the world treats me that way. It's incredible. You know, and so that's why that's a loving parent might even taking them to therapy. Like in some states you can get life in prison for if your kid wants to be trans, live that life, believes they're transgender, and you might take them to therapy. Like you ask yourself, like, what is the difference between a good parent and a bad parent? One is it's so that's like what I think about that is the things that the main points that those people are saying, that the accusers of transgender people in general, and of especially trans kids, our adversary, our accusers. It reminds me of the movie Lord of the Flies. They're the Lord of the Flies. They're just like, if you've ever seen that movie, it's just like they're accusers for the purpose of starting war and contentions and all these things like that. It doesn't have to be that big of a deal. It's natural. There's always been transgender people. Nature makes transgender people, so why not have you know, therapies and surgeries and things to make that better, considering that, you know, when you're the third and fourth gender, you have gender dysphoria, you know. So I have videos about all those things, but it's just, see, so like, why is there people upset about trans kids? And it's because they don't want them to grow up to be transgender adults, you know. So I'm a transgender adult, so even though I'm not really talking about transgender kids, that's like the even hotter topic. You know, you know, it's like what's really going on is they don't want their kids growing up to be transgender adults. So what's really the subject is really about transgender adults, and you know that when you're a transgender adult, because if I'm feeling real beautiful and looking beautiful, it's like people, you know, cover your eyes, don't look. You know, it's like you know, and they don't want to encourage it or call it beautiful or anything like that. When I'm looking bad, they're like, oh, hey, everybody, look how Angie looks like an idiot. You know, like, you know, the accusers of transgender people are so manipulative, you know, and sheltering and manipulative of how things look and things like that. Why not just accept life for how it is? You know, why can't I just be myself? You know, I can't pretend I'm a Fruit Loop. If I'm not a Fruit Loop, I have to be myself, and that's me, you know, which is a transgender person, you know, the fourth gender or the third gender. I don't know how it goes, but so like in Hinduism, and there's lots of ancient transgender people, Native Americans. I like what they say, you know, two spirit, because you know that's just such a loving way to look at it, because you know, because there I you know I have the spirit of man and woman made into one, you know, and if you appreciate me the right way, that can be a beautiful thing too, you know. So listen to all these videos. They're separate videos because it's you know, I think it's better to have it like that way, you know. But it's meant to be listened to all together. This next section. So like in a nutshell, you know, gender is it's subjective. You know, gender is like arbitrary. You know, it's like, and so they project onto the subject. Humans project onto it what they want it to mean, you know, but someone that's trying to unify people and make a better world realizes that it's arbitrary, and so you might as well just make it mean what works and what's best for humans, you know. And that's my heater turning on. It's winter, you know, because it's just arbitrary anyway. So why not just make it match the modern needs?